was talking to Preachy Preach about Kissy Kiss. He bought me a soda. He bought me a soda. He bought me a soda and he took me to Disney on Ice.
Digital gramophone makes no sense.
Hey guys, it's John here with a video. I'm going to do a response to a thread that was started by David Newton, and this was opening tracks on albums, or track ones, side ones, whichever way you want to refer to it. Saw my buddy Mazzy did a response, and I wasn't gonna do, like, David did a video of 10, and then he's gonna do a second video of 10 if he hasn't already uploaded it. And so Mazzy just went ahead and did 20. I originally wasn't gonna do that. Like, I started on a list as soon as I saw David's video, but since Mazzy did 20, I gotta do 20, right? So here are 20 opening tracks. We're going to start with a few obvious ones. Want to be starting something? Mama Say, Mama Sa, Mama Kusa. Probably my favorite Michael Jackson song, if I'm being honest. How about the title track from Like a Prayer? The way that guitar starts and then it fades into organ, a very church sounding organ. Here's another obvious one. Respect. If I never loved a man the way I love you. It's right there on the cover. Now here's one that's maybe not so obvious. It's not a legendary track. It wasn't even a single, I don't believe, off this album. But when I think of opening tracks, I think of this one, and it's Serpentine Fire off of All in All by Earth, Wind & Fire. It's just, I don't know how to talk about it. It's just a banging track, and it kicks off this is a really good album, start to finish. My favorite Earth, Wind & Fire album, for sure. With Love's Holiday on it. Great. Serpentine Fire, it starts that album off just perfectly. Back to some more classics. How about Running with the Devil off of Van Halen, 1978. That whirring sound at the beginning, and then the bass, and then that just classic riff, Running with the Devil. These two bands are probably the best from throughout their discography, the best at leading off albums with songs. The first one is the Rolling Stones. David and Mazzy both already used an example off a Stones album, and I'm going to use Rocks Off of Exile on Main Street. Just kick-ass song. Absolutely kick-ass song. And then the other band, and David mentioned them as well, and that's Led Zeppelin. But I'm choosing In the Evening off of In Through the Outdoor. I used to love to get in my car at night, specifically at night, and then put this CD into my car and just drive, nowhere, just anywhere, because that song is it's badass. And the way that Plant kicks it off, I'm not gonna try and do it. There's another classic, obvious. War Pigs, Luke's War, off of Paranoid. Everybody knows that one. I don't feel like you can't talk about track one, side ones without mentioning Blitzkrieg Bop off the Ramones. And I don't talk about a lot of punk in my past videos, so let's stay with punk. Kill the Poor off Dead Kennedys. The way that Jello like delivers those lines, those leading lines in that song, just absolutely incredible. Sets the tone. That's what the best opening tracks set the tone for a whole album, like this one, Waiting Room by Fugazi. That song just smashes. Fucking love that song, Waiting Room. And then I thought about going with another track off of another album by this band, but decided to go with this one instead. The other track was Debaser off Doolittle, but I decided to go with Bone Machine instead off Surfer Rosa. This is the 30th anniversary collector's edition. I think it came out last year. That combines Come On Pilgrim with it. But yeah, Bone Machine, the way those drums sounds like a monster locked in Steve Albini's basement, like trying to bang on the door or trying to get out. And then of course that guitar line is just amazing. And then the lyrics and the vocal delivery, everything about it is just just a incredible song. And in 1988, there was nothing that sounded like these guys, right? Now, here's one. This is a band that over the years I have kind of fallen out of love with, even their back catalog. But this one album I still love, and wore it out when I was in high school, and I still think that it's one of the greatest guitar albums of the 90s. And that's Siamese Dream, Smashing Pumpkins, and the song is Cherub Rock, which is just one of the more memorable opening guitar riffs of any song from the 90s. And the way that those drums kick it off, it's just an incredible start to a great album. Every freaking song on this one, start to finish, you guys know that one. How about the song Misshapes by Pulp off of Different Class? Jarvis Cocker's just poised cadence, such a character, just a classic opening track in my opinion. Would definitely, if I was making like my own list, I would put it in my top 10. Here's another one, kind of, not hugely popular, but nonetheless. The Bottom of Everything off of I'm Wide Awake, It's Morning by Bright Eyes. The way the song starts, for those of you that aren't familiar, it's like he starts to tell a story about a woman on a plane, and then the plane's engine goes out, and the plane just starts falling out of the sky. And she turns to this guy and says, "Where are we going?" And he says, "We're going to a party. It's a birthday party. It's your birthday party." And then it's just this crazy folk song, like traditional gospel folk sounding song, pretty much about coming to acceptance with death. It's a great track. That's a really good album. Another really good album by somebody that I'm not a huge fan of, but I love that one. And then here's another one. I thought of this one. This was one of the very first songs I thought of, and I don't know why. I think it's because I love this particular song so much more than the rest of the album, even though the whole album is really good. But this one song, it's like, I think some of her best lyrics. And it's a hit by Rilo Kiley, and Jenny Lewis's lyrics are just incredible, and the way the song builds over time, it's just a great opening track. You know what? How about some Adele? How about Rolling in the Deep? Come on. The song is incredible. And one of the things that I like about Adele as a pop artist, as a hugely selling pop artist, is that she makes albums. And I feel like you can't really include opening tracks, great opening tracks, in my opinion, unless it's on an album, like an album, not just some collection of songs where the single was kind of pushed up to the front. That's not what you have here. This is a full, complete album, and Rolling in the Deep is just, I mean, come on. If you don't even have appreciation for that song, you have no soul. And I don't mean like Isaac Hayes' soul. I mean like no human soul. That song is badass. Adele's a badass. She's a badass. This would be in my top 10 opening tracks of all time. And it's Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding. It's just an epic opening to Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John. The way that those keyboards and almost synth sounding keys start off the track, this eulogizing sound, that it's, Funeral for a Friend is really an instrumental piece that runs right into Love Lies Bleeding, which is just a great upbeat, one of those great upbeat like Elton John rockers, filled with emotion, and it's just epic beginning to this incredible. This is a great album, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Yeah, I talked about that like people don't know Elton John. Kind of what I'm doing. Anyway, this is a little bit of a, it's more of a ballad, more of kind of like a folk ballad, but it's just such a beautiful song and a great start to a really good album. And it's off Lyle Lovett's second, Pontiac, and the song is If I Had a Boat, which is just, I mean, if anybody's ever heard that song, they know how great that song is. It's a great opening track to this album. And then last but not least, I'm going to go with another obvious one, and probably, I don't know, I'd have to sit on it and think about it a little bit. I didn't really approach this video that way, but I have mentioned that, if I had a top 10 or whatever, this would maybe be number one. Tangled Up in Blue off Blood on the Tracks. Tangled Up in Blue is, talk about sets the stage for the whole album. I mean, it pretty much like telegraphs the whole album narratively in a way, and it's just incredible opening track. I think his best. I know that there are others. He's got great opening tracks throughout his discography, like Rolling Stone, obviously. But to me, nothing is better than Tangled Up in Blue. And like the timing of this album in particular, and that being the lead track on this album, without digging into Dylan's history that most people already know. But yeah, one of the greatest opening tracks of all time, in my opinion. Bob Dylan's Tangled Up in Blue. All right, so there's that. That was pretty easy. I didn't flab on too much, so why not do it now, right? I got a contest announcement. Yeah, I'm doing a contest. And this contest is only for Sam at the Vinyl Douche. He's the only one that can enter. He must make a video response. He must be a subscriber. Sam has to show me one heavy metal album. And if he can do that, he'll be entered into the contest, and then I'll see if I could draw his name out. And I haven't figured out what the prize is yet. Probably nothing. But yeah, so anyway, looking forward to that. Can't wait to get that entry. Oh, heavy metal does not count Tool or Rage Against the Machine. Or Black Sabbath. I want metal. I want real metal, Sam. I want real metal. All right, guys. Have a good day.